All right, it's new. Saving the best for first. So y'all have to bear with me. This one's going to take a while, and it's going to go here and there, but I'll get you there in the end. This is the Am Apogee Award. I started thinking about it. I don't think I've ever given this award out before. I've been doing this a long time. And I asked myself, why is that? And it occurred to me that don't tell Dr. Gregory, I don't know if I know exactly what it means to say, I am Apogee. And of all the people that are Apogee, how do you find the one person to win and say, this is Apogee? So I said, okay, starting with that, I'm gonna take us back a step, and I got Jim Kraft in the room. Jim, I told you I was gonna embarrass you. There is a Supreme Court justice, his name was Potter Stewart. In 1964, he had a case, Jacob Ellis versus the state of Ohio, and a very famous quote came out of that case. And Jim, you know what that quote was?
I know it when I see it.
Right. And what was he referring to?
I can answer that.
The whole quote was, I can't define pornography, but I know it when I see it. So, last year, if you remember, we renamed the Program Director of the Year Award, not officially. It's kind of like an all-star award, right? It's a Hall of Fame award. Well, so this new award is the Pornography Award. And when we get to the end of this talk, you'll understand. So, okay, so let's have one more example besides pornography to get off of that, because we do have children in the room. The next example I have of this is, I'm going to take you back again to 1991, University of San Diego. I'm in a dorm room. I was an RA. I was in one of my residence room. There was a hockey game on. Now, I'm from San Diego, California. I was at the University of San Diego. I've never seen a hockey game. I know nothing about hockey. And for whatever reason, I heard on the television in the background, 1 minute left in the game, Wayne Gretzky has the puck. And all I knew is I've heard of that guy before. Now, does anyone know hockey? What is Wayne Gretzky known as? What was his? The Great One, right? Okay. So I didn't know anything about hockey, and I watched for 1 minute when Wayne Gretzky got the puck, and all he did for 1 minute was skate around that ring, and no one could touch him. And in 1 minute, having never watched the game, I said, now I get it. That's what it means. And to this day, that was 30 years ago, over 30 years ago. I'm telling that story in front of all of you because it was that meaningful to me to witness and see greatness. And there it is. I recognized it when I saw it, knowing nothing else about it. So that's how I came to start looking at the criteria for this award. So now I'm going to take you back another step. My son, some of you may know, yes, you guys remember, was at Boise State. He applied to medical school. Well, he's going to apply to medical school. Got to take the MCAT, remember? And he wanted to wait as late as he possibly could to take the MCAT because you got to study, have all those little last classes to get in. And he waited to the very last one and called me up and said, Dad, snowstorm in Boise, MCAT's canceled tomorrow. I'm not going to be able to get a score back in time to apply for this year. He was devastated. This is Boise, Idaho. I watched a soccer game my daughter played in 6 inches of snow in October in Idaho. Nothing stops for snow. They canceled the MCAT. Okay, wind came out of his cells. It's all right. You can do this. Year later, he moves out to Tennessee to be by his mom and dad, his family. He's working for ABM and George, and waits now again till the end of the line to take his test. George and I are in North Carolina, having dinner, and I get a call. Dad, MCAT's canceled tomorrow. Snowstorm in Tennessee. I'm not kidding you. And he said, I think the universe is trying to tell me something. I don't think I'm meant to do this. And I said, no, wait, it could just be that George is bad luck. And George was sitting with me. I walked outside to say that part, but said, no, you'll be okay. Lucky enough, they did reschedule that one. They wouldn't reschedule the other one, and he still had it in time to get that score back. He did very well. He got an interview at medical school there in Tennessee where he wanted to go. Okay, told you this was going to take a minute. I apologize. He went for the interview. While he was at the interview, they said, hey, look, we'll let you know within 2 weeks. 2 weeks to the day, I'm sitting at home and I'm on the phone with George. I'm like, And I've been waiting every day. Did you hear from the school yet? No. Did you hear from the school yet? No. 2 weeks to the day, he calls me and I'm on the phone with George. And I'm like, gotta go. And this wasn't just a call, it was a FaceTime. You know your kids, they text you, usually, can I have some money? They never call. He never FaceTimes. So this is my now screensaver. It is, you can't see it, everybody, but that's my son with, that's not him, with the biggest smile I've ever seen. And I screenshot this because this was absolute joy. You know it when you see it. And I was so happy for him. He said, Dad, I'm a medical student. I said, congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Not the purpose of this talk, but I had a very brief twinge of pain. I promise you. I was so happy for him. I hung up the phone and I thought, you know, I've recognized that smile before. That's pure joy. I don't always see that when I walk into our offices, right? It's stressful. There's a reason one of our main objectives as a company is happy hospitalists. If it was easy and it would already be done and it would not be our main goal to continue to do and strive for, right? And I thought to myself, okay, Freud said man needs meaningful love and meaningful work to live a happy life. And I agree with that. The meaningful work part is very important. But I will expand upon what Freud said and say, when you become a parent, you are only as happy as your saddest child. So it's really important that this career path he's going to get is going to be the right one. And there was this moment that I'm thinking, am I really sure I want to put him through all the things that we've been through in this room, and you all know what they are, and is still this the best profession that he could pick? Because I recognized in that moment that his happiness and my happiness are linked, and my happiness is going to depend on this decision. And so, told you I'd get you there. This doctor, throughout this last year, has reminded me over and over and over again that this is still the best profession. And I'll give you an example why. And it won't be my words. I think, you know, if you think about who we serve, our stakeholders, right? We have our nurses, our patients, our administrators, some of them are in this room. So I've got 3 direct quotes. I wrote them down. My own writing, I can still read. This first one's from a nurse. I am not necessarily, this was posted on Facebook. I am not necessarily saying my workplace is better than yours, but when's the last time your team got serenaded by one of your physicians while you had a delicious holiday dinner? Blessed with the best. Because this doctor brought his guitar to work and sang to the entire hospital for a holiday dinner while he was on service. Next one's from a patient that was sent to his cell phone. This is a screenshot of a text message. That means this doctor gave the patient his cell phone number to text. Good morning. I wanted to let you know that you have restored my wife and I's faith in the medical profession. End of quote. And the last one's from the administrator at the hospital he works at. It says, the last couple of days are something I will never forget. I say that sincerely. I am so grateful to you for your commitment to this outreach event and for sharing your passion for music with a community I love. Not only was this an opportunity to give the gift of music to our community, to build back the trust and reputation for St. Alphonsus, but I got to witness my dad smile, which he has not done in a very long time. So, that is what it means to be Apogee. Dr. Larry Birger.
Thank you all, and I didn't think I would come up here and struggle with keeping back the tears, but I had no idea. I didn't know I was nominated for anything until I saw that kind of half-baked picture on the on the poster, and I thought, oh, that's funny, you know, keep me humble. I look like I'm half asleep, but Dennis is doing the rewind stuff. I'll rewind because I think it tells a sincere story about my experience with Apogee and has everything to do with why I'm up here accepting this really probably one of the biggest honors, maybe the biggest in my medical career. I've had a lot of very negative treatment from hospital administrations in the past, not my present one, but it has really put a sour taste in my mouth, and you know, it illustrated the adage that no good deed will go unpunished. And so right before Apogee took over at the program where I was working, if you would have given me the opportunity to exit from medicine and you know, and it would have been financially viable, I would have taken it. And then enter Dennis and Apogee, and we grilled them when they were presenting themselves for the program there. And I viewed them with a really wary eye for a long time. The whole, you know, Apogee organization, and it was like, okay, the other shoe is not falling. It's not falling. It's not falling. And then we attended the summit last year in Denver, and heard Dr. Gregory go up there and give this amazing talk about, you know, the reason that everybody else fails in healthcare is that they focus on the patient. You know, you kind of look sideways, or you put the patient first. Well, no, if you make the people that are taking care of the patient happy and feel satisfied, then everything else flows from there. Well, that's been my experience, and Dennis has everything to do with that, with Apogee. I can't speak highly enough of him. And so over time, Apogee has, I found out it's the real deal. And to be up here and to say, you know, in the past, quite honestly, I had a fair amount of opposition of being myself with my vision for evidence-based medicine, as you know, properly understood, and music outreach and thinking outside the box and so forth. Then I get into Apogee, and this is not only allowed, I'm encouraged to be myself. And you know, what does that say about the company? I mean, I think it says that they probably overuse alcohol and lots of, you know, they have good psychotropic medications to deal with that. But no, when I'm rewarded, I mean, and awarded for developing and pursuing my vision, I'm just blown away. And I've told people, I tell people this when they interview for positions, like, you know, whether or not you come here, you really do for your sake. They're usually younger in their career than I am. I strongly recommend you get connected with Apogee in some way. And those are the reasons. And so, you know, what Dennis is referring to is several years ago, I started a music outreach to share the healing power of music called Learn from the Masters Music Outreach. And that was an attempt to deal with my own burnout and some very difficult circumstances, and it was healing for me, and I've been able to maintain that. And he has really encouraged that, and the CEO at St. Alphonsus or I guess he's technically the administrator, Tony Swart, has been absolutely amazing. That was his quote there. So just to give a little backstory on that, but to be able to promote healing and not just treatment, to be able to do that to people that we treat, not diseases, all of that. I mean, I don't want to sound cliched, but I am just so grateful, and just, what can I say, but thank you. I hope this is some encouragement to you to really walk with your vision of medicine, and for those of you who are, spouses or significant others or children or whatever, to encourage those who are providing the health care as my wife Christine has and my stepson Kurt. This is the atmosphere where we can do it, and I've learned that actually we can make a difference. So thank you very much.